toxic masculinity.
Democrat says Biden should finish the wall.
Yeah, this is a Democrat. This is a
Right.
Democrat that wrote this. I read this article. I was like, what world is this? What is going on? Where are we? What's happening here? All right, so let's go ahead and okay, let's go ahead and read this. So it's Biden should finish the wall. This is by Brett Stevens. I read this last week, so I don't remember it exactly, but kind of a cool picture of the wall there. The guy says, the most harrowing story I've ever read in the Times in recent days was Miriam Jordan's account of a car crash last month in Southern California involving a Ford Explorer, a Ford Expedition that came from Mexico straight through a breach in the border wall. The Ford was crammed with 25 people, hit a tractor-trailer rig on Route 115, 110 miles east of San Diego. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yep. What are you laughing at? Oh, go on. What are you laughing at? Oh, my gosh. All right. This is probably inappropriate, but let's hear it. Go on.
It is, Ataku Magnet says, it isn't the hair, it's the overwhelming femininity. I'm not going to look at the comments, guys.
I told you.
I'm not.
I'm toxic. She's masculine. Together we are toxic masculinity. So that doesn't make any sense, guys. Darling,
Yes.
don't read the comments.
I'm taking a picture of super chat, sorry.
Okay. All right.
Done.
Ataku, stop making my wife laugh while we're talking about this very serious subject. Okay. Let's get into it. I'm kidding. We love you, of course. All right. A few of the survivors have been able to describe what happened next. Jordan writes, the crunch of metal and glass, the bodies flung dozens of feet across the pavement. 12 people died on the spot, a 13th at a nearby hospital. Jordan follows the story of the victims and the survivors, and there's heartbreaking sadness. We know this is a terrible thing that happened. Yet those 13 people, along with others who have recently lost their lives in dangerous crossings, might not have met their grisly fate if the Biden administration's concept of compassion wasn't also an inducement to recklessness. No kidding. I mean, hearing a leftist say this is just amazing to me. I mean, it's truly like shocking that a leftist would come to this realization.
It's like, it's unbelievable. It's still 2021.
Yeah.
It's April.
Yeah.
4 months. Biden the president, and they realizing.
And Democrats are already realizing that his policies are crap.
Oh, what are we gonna do in 2024?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, his policies are disastrous. Even leftists are saying it now. The only problem with this whole situation, as I see it, is that this poor guy, Brett Stevens, I don't know if I should call him a poor guy because he is a Democrat. I mean, this guy's never going to work again. You know he's canceled after this. There's no way I don't think this guy knows what he's doing. I mean, I don't think he's an opinion columnist for the New York Times. I mean, he can't possibly understand the gravity of what he's doing here. Disagreeing with the left at this level is like heresy. Like, they do not tolerate. I would be shocked if he keeps his job. Shocked. I mean, maybe this went under the radar. Not a lot of people heard about it, but like, this is the kind of stuff that will get you instantly canceled on the left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I forgot. I've lost my place. Let me see here. All right.
Yeah, this one. Mm-hmm. And they would not have been killed if a wall been standing in their way.
Sorry, hold on.
You finished on recklessness.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. And they would not have been killed if a wall had been standing in their way. Amazing, the realizations of the left here. That's a conclusion I've come to reluctantly, and not because I've abandoned my disgust with Trump. I mean, the guy is disgusted with Trump. He does not like Donald Trump. Walls are ugly things, he says. Symbols of defensive, suspicious, and often closed-minded civilizations. No, they're not, you moron. Walls are just walls. I mean, walls keep out people that aren't supposed to be in certain places. That's it. That's all a wall is. You know, walls keep prisoners in, and they keep people who aren't allowed into a particular place out. That's it. That's all they're for. You have walls in your house. You have walls in your house. They're not just there to keep the wind out. All right, let's see here. And often closed-minded civilizations. I mean, this is the guy trying to pander to his left.
I remember one interview on the street. I don't know if it was from PragerU, when they asked people about wall. And one guy was like, yeah, wall is racist, wall is racist. He was like, well, there is a prisoners, the wall around prison in your house. It also have a walls. It's protecting you from the outside. He was like, no. Walls in my house from keeping me inside.
Yeah, yes. Darling, that wasn't a PragerU video. That was my video.
Really?
Yeah, you're quoting one of my videos. This is somebody I interviewed.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It was too good, Chris. You don't make videos that good. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm 100% positive that was a video that I made. All right, walls are...
Did you know you said?
Huh?
I said he was going to beat me later.
I'll beat her later, yeah. Keep her in line. Let's see here. Walls are invariably permeable. Whatever else a border wall will do, it will not seal off America from unwanted visitors or undocumented workers, roughly half of whom arrive legally and overstay their visas. This is an argument that I hate about the left, that they always say, like, well, most undocumented workers just come here on a legal visa and then they just overstay their visa. And I'm like,
well, they got the visa.
Well, I'm like, look, that's also a problem that we should tackle. But it doesn't mean that we should ignore this problem. It's weird. It's like they're saying, like, you can't stop all the illegals, so why even try to stop some?
First of all, to get the visa, you have to prove your income and you have to show your criminal history, which is none.
Exactly.
You're not
so at least the ones
overstaying
their visas are at least vetted to some degree. Right. It's a very good point, darling. Let's see here. Walls also cannot address the root cause of our immigration crisis, which stems from a combination of social collapse of the south of the border and a pull of American life north of it. Okay, yeah. We have an amazing civilization here in America, and everybody wants to be part of it. Of course, yeah, that's never going to stop. I mean, well, it might now that the Democrats are in charge, but a well-built wall, he says, should still be a central part of an overall immigration fix. It's an imperfect but functional deterrent against most of the reckless forms of border crossings. It's a barrier against sudden future surges of mass migration. Good God! How is a Democrat talking sense? My brain can't even take it. I don't even know what's going on. It's so crazy. But then this is the really funny bit, right? This is something I really wanted to point out here. He then goes on, he says, it's also a political bargaining chip to be traded for a path to citizenship in a comprehensive immigration reform bill, and it's a prophylactic against the next populist revolt, which is sure to overtake our politics if the Biden administration cannot competently control an elementary function of governance. So this guy has laid out several very compelling reasons why Democrats should finish the wall. And then he says, also in there, he says, but this is also a really great bargaining chip that we can use against the Republicans. No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm sorry. It's too late. It's too late. You've just written that you recognize that... hold on. I'm going to fix your light.
Isn't it a little bit too dark?
A little too dark? I don't think so. I think you look perfect.
Okay.
All right. It's too late. It's too late, guy. You just admitted that you know a wall is a good thing and it's important. And the worse the country gets and the more ineffective the Biden administration is to control the border situation, the more disastrous the situation becomes, the more likely it will be that conservatives will take over in 2024, right? That's what the guy's saying. We know that it's in your best interest to build the wall. You will never be able to use this as a bargaining chip now because we know you want it. It's idiotic. It's like we'll give you this one thing that you want if you give us this thing that you want, but you want that too. No, we don't. You've just written a whole article about how important building a wall is. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't write in the same article about how important the wall is and then also write, and then we can use it as a bargaining chip. My God. Anyway, so although I appreciate that this guy is kind of waking up to reality here, I mean, come on, man. As Biden would say. Let's see here. The deterrent is needed now. Yeah, exactly. U.S. agents apprehended 170,000 migrants along the southwest border in March, a 70% jump from February's numbers and the highest levels in 15 years. All right, we know all this. So, I mean, he just basically goes on about this. I mean, it's a pretty short article. If you want to read it, go ahead. It's in the New York Times. Pretty good article. I'll read the last paragraph just to close it out. He says, will a wall solve all of our immigration problems? Hardly. It'll take years to build, and some practical regulatory and legal hurdles may be hard to surmount. But for anyone who hopes for America to remain a proud nation of immigrants, it has to be part of the solution. I shouldn't probably make fun of him with my funny, weak male voice. But he's still obviously a woke leftist. But he's at least coming around somewhat having somewhat sense. And I just love that. I just love that. I mean, this is an example of something that I kind of predicted, which is that the more incompetent the leftists in office are, the Democrats are, with everything that's going on,
then people will realize how they were wrong. Because if Trump will stay for 4 more years, I was afraid that they're gonna just kill him.
Yeah.
I was afraid even like before the election. And now that Trump can like relax for 4 years, play golf, and people will realize, we're messed
It'll
up.
like slap some sense into the people.
And he can come back in 2024.
The failures of the left will hopefully slap some sense into people. But the thing I'm concerned about is what the left's doing with trying to fix elections so that they can never be voted out of office. That's kind of what they're doing right now. It's something I predicted. As soon as the election was over, I was like, yep, they're doing all this stuff because they've got control now, and they've already totally fairly won the 2020 election, and Biden totally legitimately won that election, and there was no foul play at all. Right, Susan?
That's exactly what you should say for YouTube monetization.
I don't believe anything different. No one does. All right, darling, beautiful woman. Please read us the second story.
Vaccinated 8 times more likely to be infected than unvaccinated by new South African variant.
Okay, Valeria.
Did I say everything right?
Vaguely. I'll read it. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me find it here. Vaccinated people, are 8 times more likely to be infected than unvaccinated people by this new South African variant. This is really weird. Sorry, I kind of wrote that headline a little weird. Maybe I should change that. Anyway, let's have a look at this story. So there's a South African variant of the virus, of the COVID virus, coronavirus, that apparently you can get infected with this even if you've had COVID before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's a mutated.
Yeah, because of the variant.
Yeah.
But even if you've been vaccinated. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.